Welcome all to NFL Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Happy Sunday, November 17th to all of you. Week 11 action awaits. We got a great show for you guys. We have Birdie Bets getting us started. We have Birdie in the house. We have Clint, the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast. Marley, currently our leader in NFL Pub Hub last year. He was second. Spectacular work by him. Spenny Penny Bombs rolling with us. We have Billy Brisbane, the Sweaty Butcher. Guillermo Zertucci, who was our co-champion last year in the NFL Cappers Contest and is currently tied for the lead in the NFL Cappers Contest this year. Spectacular work from Guillermo Zertucci. And Dave Rogers hitting cleanup for us, hitting as the headliner of the show. A great show. I can't wait to rock with you guys. I'm very pleased with my action. I just added 2 bets. I'm 2-0 already to start off. We cashed the Eagles and we also cashed the Commanders team total under. I got Green Bay, Chicago under 41. I got the Jacobs rushing prop. I make 5 prop bets a year. Here's one of them. It's gone up 5 yards since I moved on it on Tuesday night. 73.5. Now I got 68.5. It's a good sign. But I'm not a huge prop guy. We have Minnesota, Tennessee under 40. Rams, New England Patriots under 44. Browns, money line at even money. Colts +4. And then this morning, I added the Broncos money line and the Bills -2. Bets I just needed more confidence in. And I don't know if I'm quite there with a ton of confidence on either, but I did pull the trigger, and I feel good about pulling the trigger. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat, rocking with us. We got the Truth Teller, NJ Striker, the Nuke Worker, Slatsy 45, Spenny Penny Bombs, Corey Mack, and it was great to see Corey Mack, Lucky Power, Nordy, Bet L1L, Wine Time Sports, Dust 10, WT. What a great great to see my man WT. Always put small on my face. Harold Williams, Donut Silks, Wine Time Sports. A monster week again for Wine Time here on Pub Sports Radio. There's college action. Jim Dewigger, 66 Slammy. WT, Gerald Jones, 9 Legacy. Great to see all of you guys. Thank you for joining us here on my favorite show of the week. For the NFL Pub Hub Circa Millions, we are 26, 23, and 1. We are ranked 1,454th out of 5,816. We need a week. Our number 1 overall pick was the Colts +4, 89% on the Colts +4. Number 2, Browns +1, 76%. Number 3, Chargers -2 at 69%. I know a lot of Bengals love out there. And number 4, Broncos -2.5, 64%. And our 5th pick to make it into our top 5 was the Ravens -3 at 63%. So we are rolling in the Circa Millions. Notable injury news before we get started. Quarterback Trevor Lawrence is out. Mac Jones is starting for the 2nd straight week. Lions tight end Sammy Laporta is out. So is Bills tight end Dalton Kincaid out. Seahawks wide receiver DK Metcalf good to go. Chiefs running back Isaiah Pacheco is not returning this week, although Juju Smith-Schuster will be in the lineup. So this will be the first time this year, or the first time ever, that the Chiefs will have Smith-Schuster, DeAndre Hopkins, and Xavier Worthy in the lineup. Bengals wide receiver T. Higgins returns after missing 3 straight games. Bengals are 3-2 with Higgins in the lineup, 1-4 without him. And Texans wide receiver Nico Collins returns to the lineup as well. The end in the house, Gerald Jones, Kenneth Peller, just a great group. Troy Torrance in the house, my co-host and Bankroll Blitz. Steve G, great to see you. And to get started, we have something very exciting. As you guys know, we've been talking about it for months. We have the Alamo Card Show live as we speak. Yesterday was the first day. Today is the final day, day 2 of the Alamo Card Show. And we have my co-host and our producer of this show and Betting with the Bag, live right beside Big T. We got Big T in the house as well, live from the card show. So we're going to go directly to the card show right now. Say what up to our friend Jose Bouquet. Jose, how are you? How's the card show going?
Jimmy, I'm doing well. It's going great. We just started day 2. It's very exciting. Many things are happening, but obviously, and there's T popping in, but obviously exciting day and excited to cap with you gentlemen as well.
Yes, Jose will be producing from the card show. T will be taking over in about half an hour. Great to see you guys. If you are in San Antonio or close, anywhere in Texas, drive down to the card show. And Jose, before we talk about the card show for a little bit longer, you have a best bet that you're going to share with us here as well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, there's one spot that sticks out to in all the spots here today as the, market sharp play of the day, whatever you want to call it, and that's Packers Bears. It's disgusting. I understand how bad the Bears have been all season, or I guess I should say last few weeks. Let's double check here real quick for the market. 78% of the bets, 85% of the money on the Packers. And the line was a 6.5, and we're down to a 5.5 now. I just think, maybe the market lords aren't going to be on my side today, but I'm going to be on the Bears plus 5.5. Have them in the contest as well. So, and I'm already 1-0. Thankfully, shout out to the Eagles. But yeah, Bears plus 5.5. I'll say blasphemy. I wouldn't be surprised if they won outright, but only for our show purposes. And maybe I can jump up in the pub records here a little bit. I'll just take the 5.5 officials.
You are in business now. Adam Whitehead says Bears are toast. 2-3. Shocked to see Jose on the Bears. Bears plus 5.5 minus 110. I think it's a sharp spot as well, as it's gone through that number 6 here. Jose, before you go, tell us a little bit about where the card show is at for anybody close to San Antonio or in Texas today.
Yeah, just come on in. There's a 24/7 church. There's a little gated church. It's beautiful. You come on in. You'll drive up. You'll see the whole thing. Tons of cards here. Many vendors if you need. Funko Pops if you need. Shoes. I purchased a few cards myself yesterday, Jimmy, as well. I'm a proud Shohei Ohtani card owner now. 70. Actually, Jimmy, I'm a dealer. Got them down from 70 to 65 because I'm a negotiator. So I bought an Ohtani card yesterday. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And by the way, for you Spurs fans, our guy Mamu, he's going to be here as well soonish. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. Who doesn't love a big Turkish guy? It makes your day better. So yes, come on down. 24/7 church. We'll be here till 5 o'clock and haggle with some children. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, you took him to the cleaners, man.
I got his ass, Jimmy. 70 to 65. Got his ass. Got his ass.
Okay. I'm surprised that made me laugh so hard. God, his ass. Oh, fantastic. Okay, let's get to work. We got Bo Jackson in NYC as we speak. The sports weekend of our wildest dreams. Bo Jackson in the house. Where are you tonight, Bo? I know it's just been a monster weekend for you. All right, that's a card, sports card, long game, sports card. Yes, that was 2-3. That the most public parlay, the square parlay of my life, and the easiest cash ever was the Jake Paul, John Jones parlay. All right, Bo Jackson out here, tailgating Jets, Colts. I love it. All right, let's bring on your first guest. He was our season 3 champion, currently ranked 6th out of 30 cappers here on this show, and up 1.69 units on the year. He got off to a fantastic start, and he's come back to earth a little bit, but he's dug in. And this slate of action from our first guest is exactly what got him so paid in full in the playoffs last year and pushed him to win the season 3 NFL Pop-Up Championship. This is what he did in the playoffs last year, and he's going back to it. I can't wait to you guys hear how he plans to get paid in full today. Please welcome from Kingston, Ontario, our friend, Mr. Birdie Betts, to the show. Birdie, how are you?
I'm doing great, Jimmy. How are you?
I am excited to be here. I love being a part of this show, and I love watching you work, Birdie. You have a very original style. This style brought you enormous success in the playoffs, and I think everybody wants to see how you are attacking this card. And those of you who watched Birdie cash in the playoffs will remember how he goes to war here. So let's get to business. 1 p.m. Eastern, Baltimore Ravens 7-3. 3-2 on the road at Pittsburgh Steelers, 7-2, 3-1 at home. Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 49 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 5-mile-per-hour winds. The big news, of course, for the Steelers is Alex Highsmith is out. Now, so is Corey Trice Jr., cornerback. That's useful. McCole Pruitt is doubtful with the knee injury, and Jalen Warren with the back injury is questionable. The big news for the Ravens is Kyle Hamilton is good to go. I mean, that's the important news here with Mollett out. Kyle Hamilton, safety, is good to go. Let's get into the line history and the cash flow for this giant football game, getting our cards started. The Baltimore Ravens are lines moving towards them. Now minus 119 on the -3, so there's been a 10-cent move since the opener. 3.5s look like they will be on the way. From a total standpoint here, we just heard Truth Teller moving on this under. This under has climbed from the opener at 47.5 up to 48.5, but it does look like it is moving in the direction of the under now. There's been a 5-cent move from -110 to -115. When we get to the cash flow here for the Steelers Ravens to get us started, just 31% of the tickets and 27% of the cash is on the Baltimore Ravens, and 60% of the tickets, 63% cash is on the over. Birdie, let's start with the all of your bets that include both the Ravens and the Steelers. We're not going to go into your player prop until after you discuss this opening of how you're handling this incredibly interesting football game. So take it away, Birdie, Ravens, Steelers.
Okay, thank you. It's the Ravens and the Steelers. 9 of the last 10 has fell between the threes. For me, that's kind of significant the way I set up my betting card today. We joke about it all the time. It's a Steelers Ravens game, so it's going to fall 3. But I mean, it just always falls within the 3. So there's not much to cap in this game. Both two really good teams here. This is going to be a hell of a football game. You've got the Steelers offense that's improved with Wilson, and what Wilson does really well is take those long moon balls down the field to Pickens. You've got Pickens and you got Williams now, arguably two of the best contested wide receivers catching balls in the NFL, which fits perfectly for what Wilson does in his long passing game. You've got a Ravens defense that is susceptible to exactly that. And then on the flip side, you've got this Steelers defense that probably is a titch overrated. Not having Highsmith today, it suffers, but the Steelers haven't been lockdown elite like they normally have. But let's be honest, it's still whenever you have TJ Watt running on an edge, you're in pretty good shape. They're still a really good defense. So we've got two competitive teams here, and we've got a short number at 3 already. I'm comfortable setting up the card to fit that. Hopefully the game falls within the 3 here, and that's how we're going about it. So here we go. There's lots. So let's get ready. So we're going to start with the Ravens plus 3.5, with the Steelers plus 3.5. So these are all same game parlays, and that pays plus 325. And we're going to go with the Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 7.5, and that plays plus 150. Then we're going to go Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 10.5 at plus 105. Then we're going to flip it to the Steelers plus 7.5 with the Ravens plus 3.5 at plus 150. And we'll end it with Steelers plus 7.5 and Ravens plus 7.5 at minus 115.
Locked and loaded, and that doesn't end your action here. This is another angle. Both of these angles you used to great success in the playoffs last year. You have picked a linebacker here, and you're focused on a player prop. Truth Teller just said, what's the best prop in this game? Well, according to Birdie, this will be it. Now, Birdie, start with just the tackles and the assists and the alt, and then I will set you up with the next spot.
Yeah, so it's Trent Simpson. Probably a lot of people are going, who? Well, he's a linebacker. I'm going to go over 7.5 on his tackles and assists. If you go back and look, you're probably going to go, what the hell's this guy on? But the two examples in Ravens games this year where a team ran the ball 30 times or more, he hit this prop both times. For me, it's about circle of opportunity in these kind of player props. So essentially, what opportunity is a player going to have in a game to allow him to hit this number? The Steelers have rushed the football more than 30 times in all their games but one, and in the game they ran it 26 times. So even if the Steelers are down, Tomlin still runs the football. So his circle of opportunity is going to be pretty high in this game, just the way the Steelers play offense, because they do take shots, but it's limited amounts of shots down the field. Otherwise, it's between that line of scrimmage and 10 yards out. So this sets up really well for opportunity for Simpson today to get that 8 tackles and assists we're going to need for a win. And he's only hit 9 is his barometer this year. But the Steelers, as I say, the way they play offense is going to present probably 5 to 7 more opportunities for him in this game. And so I'm comfortable taking this up to 10 as well at plus 310. So that'd be 10 or more tackles and assists at plus 310. I wouldn't go higher than that. I think 10's the absolute peak of what we get today. But for the purpose of what I'm going to be offering next, as far as the parlays go, it'll be Trent Simpson over 7.5 tackles and assists. And it's actually plus 110 now, not even money. But as far as the parlays go, Jimmy, we'll just keep the even money with it, so we won't adjust. That'd be pain in the ass.
Okay. We will keep it then at the plus 100. So Trenton Simpson over 7.5 tackles it's available at plus 110 right now. Trenton Simpson 10 or more tackles and assists at plus 310. So we're going to move on to our next spot on.
Should I do the parlays?
Yes, I'm going to add it in here in a second here, but let's set this next angle up here. And that's 4:25 p.m. Eastern. Kansas City Chiefs 9-0, 4-0 on the road at the Buffalo Bills 8-2, 4-0 at home. We're at Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York, 51 Fahrenheit, cloudy, 8 miles per hour. As I said off the top, Isaiah Pacheco will not be in the lineup. Either will Charles Omenihu be in the lineup, but we knew that. Keon Coleman and Dalton Kincaid out of the lineup, and of course Matt Milano still out of the lineup. Amari Cooper, though, is the question mark. Will Amari Cooper be in with the wrist injury? His importance elevates with Coleman out in such a big game. We got Jimmy G in the house. Great to see you, Jimmy Gomez. G Martinez in the house as well. I love to see it. Great to see you guys. Let's get into the line history, as we've not spoken about this one yet. This total is at 46. It's juiced to the over. Opened up at 46.5, dropped down to 45.5, and now we're at 46. There actually has just been a 5-cent move on the under. So it's gone, that was 3 minutes ago. So it's gone from minus 117 to the over to minus 111. So 6 cents one way, 5 cents the other way. And then on the point spread here for this one, we have the Bills -2 at minus 110. -2 at minus 110. They open up minus 2.5. So we've had a half-point move. We've seen this line all over the place, but it's been moving in the direction of the Chiefs throughout the week. The Chiefs are a public spot here today. They have, on the total, it's 76% of tickets, 78% of cash on the over. On the spread here, we have 87% of the tickets and 88% of the cash on the Kansas City Chiefs. Ecom Bo in the house, Ken Peacock, Ricky Levine, Chosen One. Great to see you guys. Here we go. Kelly McInnes. Harold Williams says he's rolling with the Bills. I'm rolling with the Bills. But to start things off, let's just go into your Chiefs Bills action that's similar to Ravens Steelers, and then we'll go into the how you're linking the Chiefs up to a player prop. So first start with the breakdown and your attack here on Chiefs Bills sidewise with your SGPs.
Yeah, similar to the Ravens Pittsburgh game, this is another competitive football game with two really good quarterbacks. In those situations, between the threes, I mean, the last two times these teams have played, it's fell between the threes. So again, we're going to tackle it that way. Kind of hoping this game comes down to a last-second field goal. Be interesting to see not having Bucker now, how that affects the Chiefs in a pivotal moment if they need a kick to win. But again, two really good quarterbacks here. I'm happy playing it between the three. The line's telling us it's going to be a short win for one of these teams. So I'm happily attacking it and staying away from picking a side here and trying to get both sides to my advantage at plus money. So we're going to take the Chiefs plus 3.5 with the Bills plus 3.5 at plus 300. We're going to take the Chiefs at plus 3.5, Bills plus 7.5 at plus 160. Take the Chiefs at plus 3.5, Bills plus 10.5 at plus 120. And then we're going to take the Chiefs at plus 7.5 with the Bills plus 3.5 at plus 145. Then we'll flip to the Bills at plus 3.5 and the Chiefs at plus 10.5 at plus 110. And Bills plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 3.5 at plus 145. And Bills plus 7.5 and Chiefs plus 7.5 at minus 120.
You are locked and loaded, my friend. in that regard, you have also decided to use the Chiefs, not the Bills, but the Chiefs with your Trenton Simpson prop at the 7.5 tackles and assists for Trenton Simpson. Take it away with that plan.
Sure. As I stated earlier, the Trenton Simpson is over 7.5 tackles and assists. We're going to tie that with the Chiefs at plus 3.5 at plus 226. And then the Chiefs plus 7.5 at plus 164. Then the Chiefs at plus 10.5 at plus 144. Chiefs 14.5 plus 125. And Chiefs 17.5 at plus 116.
I love it, Birdie. Troy talking about the innovation of this plan of attack. Again, this isn't new to Birdie. We watched him succeed with this in the playoffs last year. It's going to be fun to watch it play out today. Slatsy saying, RotoWire reporting George Kittle unlikely to play for the Niners today.
He's out
for the Niners. Thank you, Slatsy. Great stuff there. I would have had that off the top. I was waiting for that information. Then we get into 7-point teaser land. Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks in the house. 7-point teaser land, Birdie, to close up your card. You are using the Chiefs plus 9.5. These are 3-team 7-point teasers at plus 130. You're using the Chiefs plus 9.5 in all of these spots. That is the anchor. Talk to us about the other spots on your 7-point teaser.
Yeah, before I do that, I just want to say, I mean, the way Jimmy and they set up the show here, every play's one unit. But if you're going to tail these plays, and probably not many are, but if you do decide to tail these plays, break them down into smaller unit sizes. So one unit, you can try to make 3 or 4 bets out of it. It just limits the variance and win and loss. But for the purpose of this show, one bet is 1 unit. So just keep that in mind, because things look extreme here on good weeks and bad weeks. But in reality, they're not quite as big and they're not quite as small. So the 7-point teasers is we're going to go Ravens plus 4. Already talked about the game. Falcons plus 9. I just have a hard time believing that Denver's going to get margin on the Falcons. That Falcons offense is too good. And then the Chiefs plus 9.5. And these are all plus 130 if you use the 7-point teaser. The next one, Steelers plus 10. I went with the Saints plus 8. I actually really like the Saints today. If it does a little for anybody interested, I really like the Saints today. And the Chiefs plus 9.5. And then the third one is Titans plus 13.5. Again, I just don't see that game getting to this type of margin. And I also like the Titans in this game as well. And Chiefs plus 9.5 and Bengals plus 8.5. Yeah. So, and just 2 side notes. I really do like the Saints today a lot, and I really do like the Titans today a lot.
I love it, Birdie. You must have the cappers in the chat really thinking about all the different possibilities and variations to get paid when you feel like you have an advantage. And that is the feeling here, that Chiefs Bills are going to be a close game and the Ravens Steelers are going to be a close game. It's very, very fun watching this work. So thank you for sharing your angles.
I got 23 plays, Troy. If you want 25, I'll put them in. But I've got 23 plays I gave out to people at plus money.
Let's just do a quick review of Birdie's action. Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 3.5 at plus 325. Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 7.5 at plus 150. Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 10.5 at plus 105. Steelers plus 7.5, Ravens plus 3.5 at plus 150. Steelers plus 7.5, Ravens plus 7.5 minus 115. Then we get into the Trenton Simpson props. Trenton Simpson over 7.5 tackles and assists at even money, and Trenton Simpson 10 or more tackles and assists at plus 310. Then he's tied to Trenton Simpson over 7.5 tackles with the Chiefs plus 3.5 at 226, with the Chiefs plus 7.5 at plus 164, with the Chiefs plus 10.5 at plus 144, with the Chiefs plus 14.5 at plus 125, and with the Chiefs plus 17.5 at plus 116. Then we have the Chiefs plus 3.5, Bills plus 3.5, Chiefs plus 3.5, Bills plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 3.5, Bills plus 10.5. Bills plus 3.5, Chiefs plus 7.5, Bills 3.5, Chiefs 10.5, Bills 7.5, Chiefs 3.5, and the Bills 7.5, Chiefs 7.5. That's minus 120. Then the 7-point teasers: Ravens plus 4, Falcons plus 9, Chiefs plus 9.5. That's at plus 130. Steelers plus 10, Saints plus 8, Chiefs plus 9.5, plus 130. Titans plus 13, Chiefs plus 9.5, Bengals plus 8.5 at plus 130. 8:30. Birdie, excellent work, my friend. Please support our friend Birdie on X, as selfless as you will find in the industry. Just wants us all to get paid. I'm going to pop his Twitter handle in the chat. Birdie, my friend, any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
Let's get that fucking cash today.
I love it. There he is. Birdie Bets in the house. Please support our guy, Birdie Bets. We move on to our next guest. He is back with us. He was here week 1. He is a great friend of the program. He is the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, and he's rocking with us here on Pub Sports Radio, a channel very near and dear to his heart. We miss capping with him on the daily, and he's got a very fun card today, so I'm looking forward to watching him rock. Please welcome, again, the star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, our guy, Mr. Clint McLean, to the show. Clint, how are you, my man?
I'm going to have to change that name, Jimmy. It's the Die Hard MMA Cockcast from now on.
That's a Cockcast? Oh, God.
You caught yourself, but it was going that
direction. It was going to
Cockcast?
It was on the direction to Cockcast? Oh, God. Jesus.
Good morning.
I got any excuse for that is horrifying. So I'm not going to try to excuse it. Clint, my man, it is great to see you. I have messed a little bit with your order. Again, for all the cappers on, we go chronologically. But I also want you to start with your Minnesota Vikings here. Minnesota Vikings 7-2, 3-1 on the road at the Tennessee Titans, 7-2, 1-3 at home. We're at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. 66 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour. Shout out to our guy, Kong Clips, in the house, gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. Kong, you're the man. Thank you. And Olu Falarin getting it. I love it. Just thank you, Kong. And thank you, Olu. Thank you guys both. These are two pretty healthy teams. Right now, Vikings just outside linebacker Gabriel Murphy out. Very healthy group. For the Titans, L'Jarius Sneed and Leroy Watson out. So that's offensive tackle on Watson and the cornerback and L'Jarius Sneed, who's been out for a long time. Now, Tyler Boyd was a late addition to the podcast. Now, oh, I messed up. Was a late addition to the injury report. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with Tyler Boyd. If he will be, he is a game time decision now with a back injury, something that flared up yesterday. Let's get into the line history here. We have the Minnesota Vikings -6 and -108. They opened up at 6.5. It was 5.5 for a while. It was 5.5 for a while yesterday. Now we have a 6.5. That's juice to the Vikings. So money coming in on the Minnesota Vikings. From a total side of things here, we have the 40 at -106. I am on the under. I'm concerned that it's come up from 39 today back to where it originally stood at 40. When we get to the cash flow here, let me go to all markets. I'll make it easier. I don't need to jump around. We have 85% of the tickets and 91% of the cash on the Vikings, 78 and 71 on the over. So I'd like to start with first your player prop in this football game, and then I will ask you a question that will lead into your money line parlay. So start with your player prop in Vikings Titans.
Yeah, the player prop that I'm doing is the Jordan Addison anytime touchdown, Jimmy, plus 225 right now. And frankly, the numbers are not sexy enough in football to do what I am doing, but I'm blind betting this thing until it hits, okay? Because if anybody has known the long-suffering Vikings fan base, we have watched Jordan Addison run wind sprints up and down the field for the last 6 weeks of football. He is open for 3 touchdown bombs at minimum per game, and Sam Darnold has simply not seen him. I mean, Jimmy, if they would just throw him the damn ball, he would still be running. I think they've heard enough. I've got a feeling that they finally got to coach KOC. I've got a feeling they sat Sam down. They're going to be looking for some alternative options because all he does is throw the ball to Justin Jefferson, and if he can't squeeze that in, then he's checking down. I think this week he's finally going to look at Jordan Addison, maybe first a couple times, and that'll lead to a long bomb for Jordan Addison, even against the tough passing defense like Tennessee Titans. It's a blind bet. It's a system bet. It's a frustration bet, but I'm going to keep doing it until it hits.
Jordan Addison, anytime touchdown at plus 225. Now, you are using the Minnesota Vikings in a money line parlay. Let's start with your confidence on the Vikings on the money line, not using them on the spread. Touch on both, please.
So in the past, Jimmy, I told you guys, I've been on this show a lot, and I always talk about my Vikings. I only bet them when I feel very confident on my Vikings because I can't handle losing twice. If I bet on my team and they lose, I just feel god awful, and I can't bet against my boys. So like, there's no emotional hedge there. Usually in years past, the Vikings do not cover spreads. We're a different team now, Jimmy. We are treating people who are not on our level the way they should be treated. We are stepping on the necks of our opponents. We are winning by margin. We are keeping our foot on the gas. We are no longer squeezing out, one score field goal games with 2 seconds left on the clock, unless absolutely necessary. This is the kind of team that we should be running over. This is the kind of team that we should be beating. Now, in this particular circumstance, last week was a bit of a rough game for the boys. Sam Darnold threw 3 interceptions. We made history with the stat line that we put up, not being able to score a touchdown, but gaining 402 yards and having 28 first downs. We made history being able to pull off that win. Nobody since, like 1983 or something like that had been able to win a football game with that exact stat line. Jimmy, we're coming off of our literal worst week of football. I know a lot of people think Sam Darnold turned back into a pumpkin last week, but the reality is the truth is somewhere in the middle. He is not as bad as he showed last week. Sam Darnold is not going to throw 3 interceptions in the red zone every single week. So we're going to come out here. We're going to move the ball. KOC is going to get Sam Darnold some confidence. They're not just going to hand the ball off and only call runs, and he's not going to throw 3 interceptions today. We're going to win this game. I'm not super confident we're covering by margin, but the Vikings are going to win. So I will use them in a money line parlay today.
Vikings moneyline parlay, and let's talk about who you are tying them to. 1 p.m. Eastern, Green Bay Packers 6-3, 3-1 on the road at Chicago Bears, 4-5, 4-1 at home. We're at Soldier Field in Chicago, Illinois. 55 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10-mile-per-hour winds. Jair Alexander expected to be in the lineup despite the knee barking. Real only issue for the Packers is Jordan Morgan, tackle guard, is out of the lineup. Good news for the Bears, both Montez Sweat and Tarvarius Moore, full participants on Friday and are good to go. The problem is Tevin Jenkins is out, and Doug Kramer will replace Jenkins, and he's not done a good job doing it. Let's get into the line history here for this one, as we've not talked about this Bears spot yet. 40.5 is the total. This opened up at 41.5. It's now at 40.5. It is juiced to the over. As you guys know, I'm on the, what number did I guess? Yes, I got under 41. And I'm also on the Jacobs rushing prop over at 68.5. That's moved to 73.5, which is a good sign. As you guys know, I only make about 5 player prop bets a year. From a spread perspective here, we talked a little. Jose touched on it, but I didn't talk about it. We are at a 5.5 right now, but it is becoming increasingly juiced towards the Packers, which means a 6 could be on the way. Since 9 in the morning, this has moved 15 cents towards the Packers, although it's still a point move towards the Bears. But right now, money coming in on the Packers. From a cash flow standpoint here, we have 78% of the tickets and 84% of the cash on the Packers, 74% of the tickets, 69% cash on the over. Take it away, Clint, my man, tying up your money line parlay.
Yeah, this is the NFC North dominance parlay today, guys. I mean, I can't use the Lions, obviously, because they're minus 14. But you heard Birdie. The Green Bay Packers just absolutely own the Chicago Bears. They always have, and it doesn't matter how many first-round draft picks they're going to get. They always will. And I know stepdaddy's in town, right? It's no longer Aaron Rodgers, but that just doesn't seem to matter. These teams have a very set-in-stone legacy, and I'm not going against that until I've got a really good reason to. This Bears team, Jimmy, is just absolutely falling apart. I couldn't believe I could get even money preseason for this Bears team not to make the playoffs. You can polish a turd, but at the end of the day, it's still a turd. I think they're going to be good in a couple of years, especially if they keep on stacking up picks, but the team is dysfunctional right now. The defense isn't playing quite as well as it should be or used to. The offense absolutely is not clicking. The wide receivers are giving up on themselves and on the team, and they're giving up on their quarterback, and there's rumblings from the veteran players within the locker room that they want to bench their first overall pick, and they ain't doing that. So this team is going to continue to struggle, and as much as I hate to admit it, the Green Bay Packers are just always a force, Jimmy. They're always a playoff team. They're always extremely dangerous. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. They've got an elite quarterback again, to my dismay. They're just a better team. So again, very, very similarly to what I'm doing with my Vikings, this is a both teams to just win type of play. I'm not trusting anybody on the spread. I could see an emotional outburst from the Bears, their best effort. I just don't think it'll be good enough.
You are locked in now with lines available as we speak. We can get you that Vikings Packers money line parlay at -109. We were also, thanks to the chat, Adrian A found you the Addison anytime touchdown now at +320. So
Beautiful.
a nice number there as well. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Adrian. So then let's move on to the next spot on the board here for you. Indianapolis Colts 4-6, 1-4 on the road. New York Jets 3-7, 2-2 at home. We're at MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. 64 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 5 miles per hour. For these Colts, Bernard Raymond, their tackle, is out. EJ Speed knee is questionable, but the rest of the team, they're a pretty healthy group. For the Jets, Tyron Smith is out. So is right guard Jake Hansen with the hamstring injury. So a left tackle, right guard out. CJ Mosley out as well. Let's get into the line history here for this spot. The next one on the board, we have a 4 for the Jets, and it is juiced towards the Jets. This has had a 11-cent move since 7:18 this morning from -4 -102 to -4 -113. There's been a 1-point move towards the Jets overall in the game, and now it looks like could be a 4.5 here shortly. From a total standpoint, we have a 43.5 juice to the under at -116. This has come down to 44.5, so it looks like we'll see a 43 here any minute. And when we get to the cash flow for this spot, we have 58% of the tickets on the Colts and 50% of the cash on them, 66% of tickets and 50% of the cash on the over. This is, for me, an old move that would probably work better if I focus maybe on a player prop scenario, but I absolutely love when a young quarterback who has talent and potential. Now I know, AR-15 has problems with the little easier plays, which is a real problem when you're a quarterback. But I think him getting a slap in the face, letting him know this is not a right to be a quarterback, and having him watch for 2 weeks, very pedestrian play from Joe Flacco, I think he performs well here. Will it be enough to cover? I'm betting on that it will be enough, and that this will be his best game of this season, or at least close to it. I know the Jets defense is strong at times, not nearly as strong as we expected. Take it away for us, Clint. Colts, Jets.
Yeah, it's funny, Jimmy. The whole quarterback situation, I'm viewing it as a negative. Anthony Richardson obviously is incredibly athletic, but he obviously has work to do. Like you mentioned, the easy plays, the little plays. I don't think that's going to be something that gets fixed in 2 weeks. I think he's going to take a little bit more time, a little bit more seasoning. So I kind of expect the same Anthony Richardson today that we've been getting for the last couple of weeks. And I got to worry about his confidence because the team very obviously said they were making Flacco the quarterback for the rest of the season. They did not say, we're going to start Flacco. They didn't say, we'll see how it goes. They didn't come out and say, we still have faith in this guy. It's a quarterback battle. They said, no, you're done for the season, kid. Sit down. And now, once again, this team has set the record for switching quarterbacks over the last, 5 years? They are once again switching quarterbacks. They don't know what they want. They don't know what they're looking for. They don't know who's the best option. These wide receivers have to play, pick them every single week as to who's going to throw them the ball. You got to be exhausted by that process. So I'm not sure that the mentality is going to be dialed in here for somebody like Anthony Richardson. The New York Jets, on the other hand, Jimmy, I got to tell you, I keep burning money on these Jets this season. I thought they were going to be a really good team. And I've had to do the Bart Simpson do not bet the New York Jets thing where you write it 100 million times on a chalkboard because I just keep doing it. I keep thinking this team is going to be better than they are. And I'm doing it again today. They got treated like children, Jimmy. These are grown-ass men who went and played football in college. Some of them who've been playing professionally for years, millionaires. And they got sat down like children this week and taught how to tackle. The last 2 seasons, I've made the Jets defense for my fantasy football team a priority pickup. They are so good and they were dominant. And you could do touchdown scorer props with the Jets defense because they were picking people off and running it back all the time, Jimmy. I love this Jets defense. This year, they seem unfocused. This year, they seem like they're not playing up to the level that they're capable of. And when you've got your coach being fired, when the new guy sits you down and goes, you guys have missed so many tackles that it's embarrassing. We're going to work on the basics. I think this team shows up in a big way today. I think the Jets are finally going to look like the Jets defense they are on paper, and we're going to see a big time performance from them, considering how I'm feeling down about the Colts offense as a whole and Anthony Richardson being a wishy-washy prospect at this point. I kind of feel like we're going to see the best shutdown effort the Jets have to offer today, and that'll get me to that 4. So believe it or not, I'm going to do it again. They keep burning me, but Jets -4 today.
Jets -4. We're going to be talking about this game a couple times here on
my
the
wife
show.
Literally just walked in and said, "That's a dumb pick, Jimmy." She heard my breakdown and my ending salvo there and just goes, "That's a dumb pick," and walks out. Thanks, honey. Love you too.
I love it. I love it. Look, this Jets defense, rush defense, 25th in the league, allowing 134 yards per game. Red zone defense, 18th in the league, 57.1%. Third down defense, 17th in the league, allowing conversions 37.8% of the time. Look, they're not that good. The sample size is long enough. Now, will they play, with a ton of heart and soul today? You're betting yes. I don't know
on the emotion, Jimmy. I really
don't know if they have it. And
frankly, I've been watching them all season, and the coaches are right. They're missing tackles. You look at some of these plays, and they get hit for a 1 or 2 yard game, sometimes for a loss. But then the Jets players are just falling off, and they'll run it for a first down. It's like they really could be much better statistically than they are, but they're missing those tackles. And it's the whole defense. It's the whole team. I think they wrap up today. I think they sell out to not be embarrassed again on a national stage today. So yeah, I'll bet the emotion.
Well, I am betting on Anthony Richardson's emotion today, too. So it's going to be fun. Clint, I will be texting you throughout the game. Let's get into your final spot here. Seattle Seahawks, 4-5, 2-1 on the road. San Francisco 49ers, 5-4, 3-2 at home at Levi Stadium, Santa Clara, California, 61 Fahrenheit, partly or cloudy, 4 miles per hour. We just got the news that George Kittle is out of the lineup. So he is out. We know that Charvarius Ward is going to be out as well. Kevin Givens, too, with the groin injury, defensive tackle that's useful at times. Trent Williams is dealing with the ankle injury. We expect him to be in. Nick Bosa with the hip injury. We expect him to be in. Both the lineman Feliciano and the guard Aaron Banks, we expect to be in the lineup. For the Seahawks, I talked about Connor Williams with the yips, and he just went ahead and retired. So he's gone. Now, they've had some time now, a few days to kind of prepare with and Connor Williams was signed because of how weak their center was, who's now going to be the man here. So that was a very strange thing that happened this week in Seattle. DK Metcalf also healthy and good to go. Let's get into the line history here, and this is the final spot on the board for Clint. This totals at 49. It opened up at 48.5. This was a regular old 48 at 1 in the morning. At yesterday, this was a 48 at a pick'em, so we've gone up a whole point, but we're only up a half point from the opening number. On the point spread here, we have the Niners a -6 at +103. So we're moving into this 5.5 range. It hasn't happened yet, but it looks like it will happen before kickoff. So we've had a move on the Seahawks from -105 at 10:11 this morning to -114. And to take that even further, at 4:41 this morning, this was a 6.5 that was a pick'em. So a legit move towards the Seahawks happening as we speak. Let's get into the cash flow then. We have 35% of the tickets and 24% of the cash on the Seahawks, 66 and 65 on the over. Clint, take it away, my man.
Yeah, this is a game, Jimmy. I've been watching the Seahawks all season. A lot of my handicapping comes from, fantasy football knowledge. I play a lot of best ball. I play a lot of fantasy football. I've got a dynasty league I'm going in. So I watch these Seahawks because I've got a lot of them, frankly. And they've been banged up this season. That's, I think, a narrative that's kind of going a little bit unnoticed, is that the Seahawks have been banged up. They're getting a little bit healthier coming into this spot. And frankly, Jimmy, I circled the 49ers letdown season as the Super Bowl loser this year as a thing. I said at the beginning of the season I was going to try and find opportunities to bet against them. Obviously, I didn't expect it to be a lost season with the amount of injuries they've had, with CMC going down and being gone for so long. So I ended up kind of falling backwards into being really right about avoiding the 49ers this year. But you've got Christian McCaffrey back. That's great. He's not 100% still. He's still playing a little tentatively. He's still coming off the injury that was very apparent the last week. And I think you've got to be careful with a guy in that circumstance, whether he's not playing at 100% or whether you're trying to make sure he avoids any further injury. Either way, he's not going to be all the way back the way that you would expect him to be yet. The Seahawks are getting DK Metcalf back. He opens up this passing offense in a big, big way. He's such a big body. He's impossible to cover. He makes it possible for guys like my guy, Jackson Smith and Jigma, to be open on other routes because you got to respect and watch a guy like DK Metcalf. And plus, it just seems like Geno has no problem getting that big man the ball. So I do think the Seahawks are going to be able to move the ball. I think their offense and defensive line are going to be getting healthy and be better in this spot. The 49ers are missing a bunch of pieces. Now they've got Kittle out. I just think their weapons are downgraded from what they should be and what they usually are on paper. And because of that, I'm going to take the shot against them here. It's worked out so far this season. I think this is too many points. A lot like some of the other spots I've said earlier on the day. I think the 49ers might win this game, but that back door will be wide open. I expect the Seahawks to play it tight. And you never know. Maybe they end up pulling the upset, but I'll take the 6.5.
Seahawks plus 6.5 at minus 110 for our guy, Clint McLean. Troy Torrance says the most incredible profile of the day is this 49ers Seahawks game. 49ers win 89% of the time in this profile and cover 11% of the time. Wild profile there. Let's review Clint McLean's action here in week 11 of NFL Pub Hub. Vikings, Packers, moneyline parlay minus 109. Jordan Addison, anytime touchdown plus 320. We have Jets minus 4 at minus 108. Seahawks plus 6 at minus 110 for our guy, Clint McLean. Clint, thank you so much for rocking with us, man. Hope we can get you on a live stream with us here soon. Tell us about where we can find the Die Hard MMA podcast.
Hell yeah, Jimmy. First and foremost, just grateful to you, grateful to the chat, grateful to Pub Sports Radio. I miss and love you guys as always. It's always fun to be back here when I can. Thank you for the invitation. It's been an absolute blast. I am over at the Home of Fight, same time slot for my Die Hard MMA podcast on Monday nights. So you can catch me over there breaking down MMA every single week. But I love hanging out here with you guys when I've got the opportunity to do so. So again, thank you very much for the invite, Jimmy. Love all you guys in the chat and appreciate each and every one of you.
We love you, Clint McLean. Please support our guy, Clint, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast. We move on to our next guest. Last year, he placed second out of 28 cappers. This year, he is first out of 30 cappers. He's 26-14 on our show, plus 11.06 units. Also, after 20 weeks, it took 20 weeks for him to lose more than 1 unit on our show. That's the consistency he has done. Last week, 2-4, down 2.17 units. That's the first time that has ever happened here. And even this year, through 8 shows, he's only had one other losing day. He had, through week 7, 8, and 9, gone a combined 12-3 on this show. So he's coming off a 2-4 day. And I'm really looking forward to see the bounce back from your next guest, because he's as impressive a capper as I've seen in my career. Please welcome star of the Brothers in Bets YouTube channel, coming to us from Big Texas, our guy, Marley, in the house. Marley, what is good, man? How are you?
What's going on? What's up, Jimmy? Let's get it.
Let's get it, Marley. You start with Packers Bears. We've already set this game up. Jose started it by giving us the Bears plus 5.5 to get us rolling. And then we heard from Clint that he's using the Packers in a money line parlay with the Vikings. Take it away, Marley. The floor is yours, my man.
Yeah. I kind of agree with Clint. I do agree. That's not my play, however. I kind of understand what Jose is saying. I'm a little afraid of the 6. So I'm not on the spread, but there's no way I can back this Bears team. Not what they've shown us offensively, especially over the last 3 weeks. I mean, they've been dominated here, and I think they're coming off a loss to the Patriots, if I'm not mistaken. That was their last loss. Caleb Williams is not playing good right now. They just fired their offensive coordinator. I think his QBR is like 38.4. Only 9 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. No way. There's no way I can back this Bears offense. Defensively, yes, they're playing good. They're not playing as good as they were at the beginning of the season. And as a matter of fact, you can run the ball on this Bears defense. And the Packers are a top 5 rushing team. So there's just no way that I can back this team with the 6. But what I am going to do here is I'm going to take the team total under for the Chicago Bears. I got it at a 17. And like I said, over the last 3 games, I think they've scored 3, 9, and I can't even think of the last one right now. Let me go to my notes real quick. But one thing I do know is they've only scored 17 points again or more, Jimmy, against the Panthers, the Jaguars, and the Rams. I mean, I'll count the Rams as a solid team, but I'm not giving them credit for scoring 30 points against the Panthers and the Jaguars defense. Other than that, this team has not cracked 16 points, especially over the last 3. I don't think they've cracked over 14 points. So give me the team total under here. The Packers defense it's not the Bears defense, but they're like the middle of the road defense. They're ranked 13th in a bunch of in rushing and passing yards allowed. So they're giving up 21 points per game, and this team hasn't even lost to a team that's under 500 yet. And they're coming off a bye week, and LaFleur owns the Bears. I think he's 10-0 against the Bears, ATS and straight up. So I can see the covering maybe here for the Bears backers, but I couldn't risk my money on the Bears at all. So give me the team total under.
Bears team total under. Now they're 16 and a half. They're 17 and a half. You got a 17. I can get a 17 and a half, but it's going to cost minus 134. 17 is a crucial number. What did you get the flat 17 at?
I got a U-wager.
Sorry?
U-wager.
Oh, no. What? No, juice.
Let me go to my bets.
Grab that for me here. Razor saying the under 41 is good money to talk to him, Marley. Yes, I'm on that under 41 as well. Razor, I like it quite a bit. We're going to get the juice for the Bears team total under 17 for Marley getting his card started. Let's move on to the second spot for Marley, 1 p.m. Eastern. Jacksonville Jaguars 2-8, 0-5 on the road at the Detroit Lions, 8-1, 3-1 at home, Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to our guy, Dale Lowenstein. Thank you so much for gifting a Pub Sports Radio membership. It means a ton to us, chasing the bag. Rocking it. I love it. Thank you guys, both of you. Dale, thank you for supporting us.
I'll take that 17 and a half. My bad. I'm sorry.
You did get 17 and a half.
Yeah. It was 17 and a half.
Okay, so what was the juice?
The juice was 130.
130. Okay, yeah, because you can get that minus 130. I found the minus 134 here. I love it. So thank you. Thank you there. LJ from H-Town says smash spot of the year, Detroit first half. For those of you who don't know, on Thursday, our guy LJ told us on our live stream that this is a mortgage bet. He's putting his this month's mortgage on the Detroit Lions first half. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. Of course, as we said up the top, Trevor Lawrence is out. So is Tank Bigsby. Ezra Cleveland will try to play with the ankle injury, an important lineman. So Mac Jones starting for the Lions. Sammy Laporta out. So is Melifonwu. He's been out for most of the year. Emmanuel Mosley out as well. So some injury issues here for the Lions. Let's get into the line history here. We have a 14. Now at 14, this is juice to the Jacksonville Jaguars at minus 113. This was a 13 and a half this morning. That was juice to the Lions. So it's pretty simple. But now if you want the 14, you can get a plus number, plus 103 for the Detroit Lions. On the total here, we have a 47. It's minus 111 to the over. Opened up minus 107 to the over. So just 4 cents of movement here to the over. And when we get to the cash flow for the Lions spot, we have, sorry, 1 second. We have 82% of the tickets and 86% of the cash on the Lions, 76% of the tickets, 76% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, Marley. Jags, Lions.
Yeah, I'm with LJ, and I'll let my bad, my computer is.
Oh, you're good. You're back.
Can you see me? Okay,
yeah.
Because I can't see anything on my screen, but I'll still talk. It's fine. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You're good. Your money.
But all right, cool. So I'm with LJ here, and I'll let him do the stats that I know he has a ton, and I'll let him go over that part. So I'll just give my angle on this. I think that this Lions offense is going to come out like they have a point to prove here, based off how they played last game. Even though they came out with the win, Jared Goff throwing 5 interceptions. I know they got a sour taste in their mouth. I think also coming out with the win is going to have their confidence soaring sky high, and I know that crowd is going to be rocking. They're averaging 32 points per game while only giving up 18 points per game. 3-1 ATS at the crib, and like you said earlier, there's no Trevor Lawrence for the Jags. They, in my opinion, they got lucky with that Minnesota game with Sam Darnold throwing all those interceptions in the red zones and have to settle in for field goals. This is one of the worst pass defenses in the NFL. I think they're allowing over 260 yards passing per game. And I just think this is a great spot. LJ is 100% correct. Great spot for the Lions. I'm not scared of the 14, but I like the 7.5 a whole lot better. I just think they're going to come out flying on offense, and I don't think there's nothing they can do defensively. The Jags, there's nothing they can do to stop them. I always mention this when I talk about the Lions offense. 2 great running backs, multiple weapons at receiver and tight end, and Jared Goff is carving people up like a mad scientist. So I'm on the Lions here first half with LJ. I like the 7.5.
Let's get to this. Is actually moving pretty quick right now. The first half, it's pretty fast. Now the first half, we can still find you a set. Oh yeah, find 7.5. But some books this is moving to 8 and 8.5. So if you want it, but I can get you a 7.5 right here, -112. Lions -7.5, -112 for Marley, our current season leader, 26-14. Plus 11.06 units here on our show. Next up is the Cincinnati Bengals at LA Chargers, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. This is our Sunday nighter right here on the program. We have at this point, let me get to the full game. We have the Chargers -1 at -109, a clear move towards the Bengals. So this has gone from -2, -102 to -1 and -109. Just a constant, now slowly, but a constant move towards the Bengals. From a total side of things here, we have a 48.5 at -106. This opened up at 46. We climbed 2.5 points to a 48.5. Which means, if this goes over, it's the Bengals dictating it. If it goes under, it's the Chargers dictating it. Right. Let's take a look at the cash flow then for this one. We have, again, right here on Pop Sports Radio tonight, our live stream, 86% of tickets, 87% of cash on the spread on the Bengals, 58% of tickets and 94% of cash on the Bengals money line, 69% of tickets and 82% of cash on the over. And for those of you that roll with me all the time, my dad sent in a $300 bet on the Bengals. He has cashed 6 straight $300 bets. He's lost 3 straight $200 bets. And I wanted to get in his head. So I told him about cashing 6 straight $300 bets. He didn't realize he had done that. I wanted to get in his head. He says that he made a big point, this being a $300 bet, and I have not sent it in, and I'm not going to send it in. Take it away for us here, Marley. Bengals, Chargers.
I'm rolling with Pops, Jimmy. I still can't see anything that's going on my screen, so I don't even have all my notes, so I hope everybody can see me. But I got what I did write down on paper instead of on computer. So for me, Jimmy, it's this. I don't know about the Chargers. Yes, their defense is ranked good, but who have they played? You know what I mean? And when they did play the good teams that they played, they didn't win those games. And with Arizona, KC, and Pitt, those are the 3 games that I'm talking about where they actually played a solid team. And yeah, Kansas City and Pitt, they have better defenses, obviously, than the Bengals have. But I don't think they have the offenses that the Bengals have. They're only allowing 19 points a game, the Chargers defense. 12 points per game. They're scoring 19 points per game. And the Bengals, you mentioned this earlier when you were going over the injury report. They're getting Higgins back. Joe Burrow, 24 touchdowns, only 4 interceptions. And they're desperation mode right now, in my opinion. Like they lose this game, they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They're obviously fighting for a wild card spot because they're totally out of the division with the 2 losses to the Ravens. But they're scoring 27 points per game. Yes, I think the Chargers pose a little bit of a threat. They'll slow them down. Are they going to stop Joe Burrow in his Kansas City offense? And I think the answer is no. I don't think so. So are the Chargers going to run it up against the Bengals offense? That's not even Harbaugh's style. He wants to run the ball. Justin Herbert, we're used to him slanging the ball all over the place. He has 11 touchdowns. He only has 1 interceptions. I mean, he's still playing great football, but their offense isn't even built to do that anymore. So I think we have a tight game, regardless of how you look at it. And in the tight game, give me Joe Burrow. Give me 24 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Not going to turn the ball over. Jamar Chase on the outside. There is no cornerback that can stop him. especially not for the Chargers. I'm sure they'll get pressure. You know, Bosa in the game, Khalil Mack, they'll knock him around. Tough guy, tough quarterback. Give me Burrow. Give me the Bengals. I'm with Pops, Jimmy. Give me the money line on the Bengals.
You've got the Bengals money line here. And I agree, of course, the best quarterback is on the Bengals. The better football team, I believe, is the Chargers. I've seen the better quarterback beat the better football team often, and it could happen here again. The best line we can get you is a plus 105 right now on the Bengals. Plus 105. Next up for us, and we have more cappers talking about that spot, and I don't have anybody. Troy's on the Bengals. Marley on the Bengals. We're going to get more Bengals love coming up here shortly. Next up for us, Monday, November 18th. This is the last spot on Marley's card. It's our Monday nighter, Texans Cowboys, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Of course, the Cowboys beating up Deron Bland, Dak Prescott out. But CeeDee Lamb joined the injury report Saturday out of nowhere with the back issues, so he's now a game time decision. Tyler Smith, though, was a full participant Saturday, so at least he can help protect Cooper Rush. Nico Collins, no injury designation, he's back for the Texans. Azeez Al-Shaair will be in the lineup. We know how important he is to this Texans team.
Yes.
Let's take a look at the line history here. We have Spenny Penny Bombs waiting on deck. So let me get this line history here. We have sevens across the board. Now, I'm looking at a 7.5. At that 7.5 line, there has been a 14-cent move towards the Cowboys from minus 108 to minus 122. So all the books have moved to a 7. On the totals here, we have a 42. It's minus 116 to the under, 9 cents of movement to the under. And when we get to the cash flow for the Monday nighter, 74% of the tickets, 78% of the cash on Houston, 22% of the tickets, and 44% cash on the under. Take it away, Marley, your last spot on the board.
Yeah, again, I can't see anything on my screen, so my notes aren't right in front of me. But Jimmy, I don't need them for this game, Jimmy. I'm in Texas. I'm in Houston. We talk about this team all the time. Jimmy, I'm going to say, every time I bring up the Cowboys, I'm going to tell you this, Jimmy, and I've been saying it every time. I text you when they played the Ravens in the middle of that game, and I text you, we have to fade the Cowboys because they suck. And I was with that. And they've been getting us paid all season, and they're going to keep getting us paid. That's the thing. They're not a good football team. Dak, Cooper Rush, CeeDee Lamb, 100% healthy. They're not a good football team. So the fact that they're banged up is even more of an incentive for us to just keep fading this team. They have a lame duck coach who's not even, his contract's up, not even renewed. The quarterback's not there. They have no run game to speak of. Their best receiver is banged up, back and shoulder injury issues. What more do we need to know? I don't have to even talk about the Texans, who are the better team, who does have the better quarterback, who does have the better defense, who can run the ball, who is getting their best receiver back from healthy. What more there to discuss? I'm on the Texans first half, whatever line you can get me, full game, give me the 7. There was something else I had written down. I think I might have been on a team total, but I wasn't sure. I don't have my notes in front of me.
Would be your first half team total. I was thinking one of your spots that you've attacked with such success here. Let's see.
Team total over. What is the Texans first half?
I will grab everything for you. The first off, Texans -7, minus 108, best line available on the full game. On the first half, we have the Texans -4. Let me see that -4, minus 101, which means I could line shop for a 3.5. Let me do that here quickly. If the 3.5 would be minus 115. Do you want 4 minus 101 or 3.5 minus 115?
Give me the 4.
-4 minus 101. And then the team total here for the Texans first half is that's a full. Wow, it's 13.5, but it's plus 109 to the over.
What's the full game?
The full game Texans team total is 24.5.
I'll take it.
Over 24.5 at minus 105 for the team total.
24.5 over.
Over 24.5 minus 105
I'll
for
take
our guy Marley, currently our leader in NFL Pub Hub, 26-14 plus 11.06 units. Marley, the star of Brothers and Bets. Tell us about Brothers and Bets. Also, tell us about you working with our guy LJ from H-Town on the Raw Words podcast.
Yeah, man. Every Friday, me and LJ break down pretty much all the NFL games, at least all the ones we got for the majority of the whole card. Let's just say that. That's Fridays on the Raw Words Sports Podcast and Brothers and Bits. We kind of do a alternation kind of deal. And then Wednesdays, me and Coach break down the college card for college football. About to start the college basketball card. And shit, Sundays, you can find me right here.
I love it. There's Marley's X handle in the chat. Please support Marley and Brothers and Bets. And also support the Raw Words podcast with our guy LJ from H-Town. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Love watching you work, man. What an impressive 20-week run you've done over the last 2 years. Last year, second. This year, first. I see a big week in front of you, my man. Any last words for the captains for the show?
Y'all already know what it is. Let's beat Vegas. H-Town.
There he is, our guy Marley in the house. We move on to our next guest. He's currently ranked 3rd out of 30 cappers here, plus 3.85 units over 43 bets. We haven't seen him here since week 8. You've watched his exploits on our live streams, just monster cashes nonstop from our next guest. Please welcome from Toronto, Canada, our guy, Mr. Spenny Penny Bombs. Mr. Bombs, how are you?
How we doing, Jimmy? How we doing, chat? How's everyone doing today?
Mr. Bombs, let's get right to work. Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers. We've already set this one up. Take it away.
Yeah. So this one here, again, just with what we've been seeing with the Ravens secondary, just been giving up a ton of yards all the season long. Even with Hamilton back, it doesn't really matter. It's been the same thing all season long here. So I know that they got Mike Williams in. They have Pickens, but a guy that I've used before that's been seeing a decent amount of targets here. Seeing about 4 targets a game, decent amount of yards. Another guy that can have deep shot ability, has track speed. A guy that I've hit on before, Calvin Austin. I'm taking Calvin Austin over 20.5 receiving yards at minus 110. I also like the 25-plus receiving yards at plus 110. And I'm taking a flyer on his touchdown at plus 500. Again, just seeing, a lot of these teams come out and all of their targets are getting the ball and being able to produce with it here. And again, another spot where I just think that, Calvin can, 2 catches can get it done easily here. So I like Calvin Austin here with the receiving yards and the touchdown.
You are locked and loaded here with your Calvin Austin props. We move on to Las Vegas Raiders at Miami Dolphins. We haven't spoken about this game yet today. Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida. These Raiders 2-7, 1-4 on the road. Dolphins 3-6, 1-3 at home. 78 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 11-mile-per-hour winds. We have Nate Hobbs out for the Raiders, cornerback there. Center Andre James out as well. So is Cody Whitehair, guard. So injuries up front. For the Dolphins, Kendall Fuller out with the concussion, not coming back. And Teron Armstead expected to play despite the knee injuries. He needs to, because Teron Armstead, Robert Jones, and Isaiah Wynn, that's 3 of their 5 offensive linemen, are all hurt. They're expected to play, but they are hurt. Patrick Morris, the safety, is also dealing with a calf injury. Let's get into the line history here for Spenny Penny Bombs on Dolphins Raiders. One of the few games that we haven't got to yet today. We have the full game spread here with the Dolphins at minus 7.5, minus 113, juiced towards them. This could become an 8 here shortly. Waiting for this. Here we go. Line movements up. This opened up at 7.5, minus 106. Actually, there's just been a little bit of buyback. 2 cents of buy. In fact, no, it just happened. So we just had the 2 cents move to the minus 113. So 7 cents of movement at 7.5. We'll see if that goes to 8. And then on the total, we have a 44 minus 113 to the under. This opened up 44 minus 107 to the under. So we have had a 6 cents of movement towards the under. A cash flow for Raiders Fish. We have. Sorry, 1 second here. We just 25% of the tickets and 18% of the cash on the Raiders, 28% of tickets and 42% of cash on the under. Spenny Penny Bombs, take it away. Raiders Dolphins.
Yeah, just a spot here again. He should have hit his number last week. They should have ran the ball a lot more than they did last week here. They're facing the Raiders defense that's given up 130 rush yards a game. He's hit the number in 3 of his 4 last games here. So I'm taking Devon Achane over 59.5 rush yards at -120, and the 75 plus rush yards at plus 170. So again, just spot here where I think he's got big playability. The Raiders can't stop the run. I know they have some problems up front here, but I still think they're going to be able to run the ball with Mostert and Achane. Raiders offense hasn't been able to do anything. I don't think they're going to be able to score. I think this is just a game where Miami should just be able to run the ball. They don't need to. I don't think they need to throw it a lot. Maybe they'll throw a little bit early. Take the lead and run it out here and let Achane and Mostert do the running. So I like Devon Achane with the rush yards and the 7, so over 59.5, -120, and 75 plus at plus 175.
Locked and loaded. Spenny. Next spot on the board is another one that hasn't been spoken about today. Troy and I are both pretty bullish on the Browns, and we heard from Birdie. It's not an official pick here on the show, but he is into the Saints today, as we are not. Saints are dealing with injuries as they have been. We are not sure if Pete Werner is going to play with the hand injury, but we think he's going to try. Eric McCoy could be back, which would be a huge deal at center if he is back. He's been dealing, of course, with a groin injury out for a long time. He's supposed to at least try to give it a go today. Lucas Patrick, a guard, is out with the ankle injury. For the Browns, pretty healthy group. Jedrick Wills, very strange week for him, and called out by multiple people for his talk about his knee injury, but he is out for this one. Let's get into the line history here for this. This total is at 44. It's -108 to the under. Come on, it's moving slow for me here. Here we go. Line movements up. This opened up at -107, so 6 cents of movement to the under. And then on the spread, we have a move all week towards the Cleveland Browns. We have them right now -1 at -103. This opened up at +2.5, -104. So a real legit move towards the Browns. Even on Tuesday, I only got a +100, and Troy had moved earlier that day at +107. And when we get to the cash flow for the Brown Saints, you have 31% of the tickets and 45% of the cash on the spread on the Browns. 39% of the tickets, just 16% of the cash on the money line on the Browns. And on the total, 43% of tickets, 51% cash on the over. Take it away for us here, my man, Spenny. Brown Saints.
Yeah, I actually don't mind the Browns here today. I think they're going to be able to move the ball, especially on this Saints defense that isn't been the Saints defense of before. They're giving up. Let me just check here. I think it's 244 yards per game in the air. It's 29th in the league right now. And so I think that with Winston in too, Winston's been able to come in and actually been able to move the ball through the air for the Browns here, getting these other guys involved here. So one of the other guys that I like is Elijah Moore. He's been pretty consistent over the last few weeks here with Jameis Winston. He's averaging over 5 catches and 51 yards per game in the last few weeks here with Jameis Winston. So I like Elijah Moore over 37.5 receiving yards at -110, and we'll take the 50 plus at +160 as well. Again, just seeing a decent amount of volume here. Him, Tillman, even Judy's been pretty decent, but I think Tillman and Elijah Moore have been a little bit more consistent here with Jameis. So I like Elijah Moore here today against the Saints secondary that's been pretty weak, actually.
You are locked in here. Your next spot, another one that we haven't spoken about, and one that I did move on this morning. I got the Broncos money line at -122. Falcons, Broncos, Empower Field, a mile high in Denver, Colorado. The issue with Atlanta is they're missing big pieces of the secondary right now. So this secondary, no D. Alford, no Antonio Hamilton, and no Mike Hughes. So we have backup defensive backs. Clark Phillips, Kevin King, and Richie Grant are going to have to play a huge role in this football game. The Broncos have been a very healthy group all season long, and that doesn't change here today. Let's get into the line history here for this one. We have the Denver Broncos at -2, at -107. They opened up at -1. It was at 2.5, though, for a while. But even at this -2 number, 6 cents of movement in the last 45 minutes or so. On the total, we have the 45. It's 45. It's -110 to the under. This has gone up this morning. This was a 44 this morning early. It's being juiced, though, pretty heavily to the over 44 for a couple days. So some books had already moved it to 45. And when we get to the cash flow for the Broncos, Falcons, we have 77% of the ticket, 74% of cash on the spread on the Falcons, 40% of the ticket, 64% of the cash on the Falcons, and 73% of ticket, 78% cash on the over. Take it away, Spenny. Your last spot on the board before we're joined by Billy Brisbane. Take it away, Falcons, Broncos.
Yeah, I'm with you guys, or with you. I like Denver here in this spot as well. I just think that, Denver's been playing some pretty good football. Nick's has, been consistent. He's been playing some pretty good ball here. They should be able to move the ball through the air if they need to, but I think they should be able to move the ball on the ground here as well. And the young kid is stepping up here in Denver, and Peyton likes the young running back here, Audric Estime. So I'm taking Estime over 52.5 rush yards at -113. And the 75 plus at plus 260. Like I said, Peyton likes this young kid. He had 14 carries last week. I think he can continue into this week here. Running against an Atlanta D that's giving up 4.8 yards their last 3 games, and they're giving up 129 per game, 20th in the league. So I just think that Denver likes to run the ball already. Knicks can make the passes that he needs to. I think if they need to pass the ball, get Courtland Sutton, whoever involved. But I like Estime here with Peyton just letting him kind of take over as the RB1 here. So I like Estime with the rush yards, 52.5 and the 75 plus.
You are locked and loaded, my friend. Please support our guy, Spenny Penny Bombs on X. That's his Twitter handle right there in the chat. Please click on it and support him if you haven't already. Estime over 52.5 rush yards and 75 or more at plus 260. Moore over 35.5, over 37.5, receiving yards -110 and 50 or more plus 160. Devon Achan over 55.5 rush yards at -120 and 75 or more at plus 170. Calvin Austin over 20.5 receiving yards and 25 plus a plus 110 and anytime touchdown at plus 500. Lex Steele in the house. Nasty Nate says Spenny, the player prop goat. Spenny, thank you so much for rocking with us, my man. Any last words for the Cappers supporting the show?
No, just appreciate you guys showing up here every single day, watching the show, watching the live shows, and coming out and smack that like button as much as possible. Everybody hit that like button. I got a bunch of other plays that are on my Twitter if you want to go check them out as well. So catch them out there.
There he is, Spenny Penny Bombs in the house. Our next guest, we have South Jersey in the house. I need to see that camera turn on backstage. I imagine it will be turning on here in seconds. While I'm waiting for it to turn on, let's review action from Cappers here on the show. You see my action above. The Jacobs prop moved on Tuesday, 68.5, now 73.5, under 41, Green Bay, Chicago. Minnesota, Tennessee under 40, LA Rams, New England under 44, Browns even money, Colts +4 -112, Broncos -122, and Bills -2 at -111. Our first guest was our guy Birdie. Let me just send this message to Brizzy. Hopefully you'll turn that camera. Oh, there. Oh, well, okay. We got Brizzy in business. Also, remember the NFL Pub Hub Circa Millions were 1,454th out of 5,816 for the Circa Millions. We have Ravens -3 at 63%. That was our 5th favorite spot. 4th, Broncos -2.5 at 64%. 3rd, Chargers -2 at 69%. Browns +1 at 76%. Colts +4 at 89%. Turnsy says, would you still endorse the prop at the number I can get now? No. I would never reach for these things. No, I just would never, ever reach for a prop. You should have a certain amount that you think it can go, 2.5 yards or 3 yards. But when something moves 5 yards, no, I wouldn't. I would always let that go 10 out of 10 times. And in the long run, you will save yourself money. So no, it's imperative to get into these player props early. We know that they're hammered on the over. Now, if you like unders, then you can wait. Let's bring on our next guest. He is the star of the Locker Room podcast here on Pub Sports Radio, our hit show. He's also the star of all things basketball on our channel and a phenomenal NFL capper. Please welcome from South Jersey, our guy Billy Brisbane to the show. Brizzy, what's good, man? How are you? Okay, Brizzy, we need you. Let's get some audio on the ones and twos.
Oh, I said I'm doing good.
Okay,
A
there
little
you
bit
go.
of stomach problems, but we're ready. We're locked in, ready to go. Nice little slate today. Excited about these games. Got a college basketball bonus play, so let's get straight into it.
Beautiful. We haven't had you on the show enough this year. Just the third appearance right now for Billy Brisbane. Let's get right to work, Brizzy. We start with Colts, Jets. We heard cappers on either side of the story, and I'm on the Colts, and our guy Clint McLean on the Jets. Take us home. How you getting played in Colts Jets?
Yeah, this is just career arc season here. Anthony Richardson, anytime touchdown, plus 210 here at Bet365. Just a career arc story about being a young quarterback in the NFL. You got to love the spot for him this week, matchup wise. The Jets have allowed the 7th most rushing yards to the quarterback position this season and are tied for the most rushing touchdowns allowed from the quarterback position this season. In hindsight, divisional opponent matchup, Houston sat 6th most rushing yards allowed, and Anthony Richardson dominated in both of those games, 56 and 45 yards. Washington Jets defense over the last couple of weeks, 23 points, 37, 25, 13, 31. Kyler Murray had 2 rushing touchdowns last week. I think a lot of people are going to be on Jonathan Taylor, but I actually think it's going to be Anthony Richardson with the QB sneak.
You are locked and loaded. I need AR-15 to get us paid today. Next up for you, Packers, Bears, another game that we've already set up. We've set up all 5 of your games, so we just need to hear how you're getting paid. Take it away, Packers, Bears.
Yeah, I like Josh Jacobs here, over 16.5 rush attempts at -128 at FanDuel. Chicago's one of the better matchups in the league. They've given up the 9th most rushing yards per game. Of the running backs with 13-plus rush attempts, 6 out of 7 have gone over 70.5 rushing yards, but that number's kind of moved a little bit. With the one miss being B-Rob at 65, the Packers lead the NFL in early down play rate, or early down rush play rate. The Packers lead the NFL in early down rush play rates. That's the reason why we went with the rush attempts over the yards and everything else. Chicago's 6th in pass defense, but 30th in run DVOA. Jacobs ranks 4th in the NFL with 20 runs of 10-plus yards and 5th in the NFL in yards after contact per attempt. So I like the rush attempts here for Josh Jacobs.
Jacobs over, what was the rush attempts?
16.5 at -128. I think he gets 18.
Half -118. Over 16.5 rush attempts, and I'm on the over 16.5 rush yards. Let's roll into your next spot on the board. Seahawks, 49ers. Take it away, Brizzy, my man.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit of a longer breakdown, unfortunately. But I'm going to be real with you, man. Fuck the bullshit, bro. I'm always going to stick to being myself. Fuck the stats. Let's get narrative greasy theory. And god damn it, I got narratives and grease for you. People don't want to do it. People don't want to see it. But, how many times have we been on these fucking streams and I cash these fucking chalky-ass touchdown props and straight bets? Christian McCaffrey's about to score a fucking touchdown today at -175. He made his return last week and took almost 90% of the snaps in his return last week. In 6 career games versus Seattle, CMC has 978 total yards, 33 catches, and 8 touchdowns, averaging 6.2 yards per carry. And McCaffrey makes his home debut this Sunday, and the 49ers are giving away a free signed jersey to one of the fans. And the whole entire 49ers thing is all set up for McCaffrey today. So I think he scores a fucking touchdown at least. -175. If you want to go 2+ touchdowns, that's sitting at like +250, but that's not really my thing. The next one that I like here is Ricky Pearsall. How do you say the name, Jim?
Ricky Pearsall.
Ricky Pearsall. Over 200.
Just Pearsall.
I was gonna say Pretty Ricky, man. I'm saying Pretty Ricky
works. Pretty Ricky works.
From the shot in the back, you get it. Pretty Ricky here, over 2.5 receptions at FanDuel at -198 at FanDuel here. Kittle is most likely going to miss today's game. Pretty Ricky is going to be the direct beneficiary after his breakout game last week. He was targeted 6 times. That reverted into 4 catches for 73 yards and a 46-yard touchdown. And a play design. I wish we could pull up play design videos. Literally, the play that they ran was a play action double dig route play for people that play Madden. And that's the same exact fucking defensive coverage that the Seahawks run. He's going to get that same exact route, the same exact route tree. I don't think he's going to score a fucking 46-yard touchdown off the route again, but I think he gets 3 balls today. I think he's finally emerging as the wide receiver that they wanted him to be before he got shot in the preseason. Since his return from injury, he's gone over 2.5 receptions in all 3 games, and this is a great matchup versus Seattle. Seattle's like 25th versus wide receivers this year. Good spot for Jawan Jennings, but I like Ricky here.
That was over 2.5 receptions?
2.5 receptions, minus 198 FanDuel.
Minus 198. So you're risking here. Did you think about putting those together, or you want to keep it clean?
I'm just getting a couple straight bets in. I like Pretty Ricky today.
I like it.
Do I like the yards? Yeah, but I feel like the way it's set up was last week he kind of got really lucky with the yards after catch. The way it's set up, I feel like he should be able to catch a couple balls. If you want to ladder it, that's probably like a ladder situation, but we can't like put ladders on the show like that because I mean I'm not putting a unit on each one of his catches. So it's like obviously with the 2.5 receptions at minus 198, probably gonna ladder it to 4 catches.
No, I feel you. It's all good. Let's roll on. Brizzy, my man. Next up, Falcons, Broncos. We've already set this one up. How you getting paid?
Yeah, this is kind of risky, man, because this reminds me of the Bucky Irving shit that we bet the week before. Like Bucky Irving kind of went like breakout mode. We're going Aldrich Estime here, anytime touchdown plus 160 at Bet365. We're finally starting to see the emergence for the Notre Dame rookie after being healthy these last few weeks. Sean Payton is getting the message that if you want to fucking win games and score touchdowns, you give Aldrich Estime the fucking ball. He knows how to score. At his time in South Bend, he averaged 6.2 yards per carry and scored on 7.8% of his carries, which is absolutely absurd. And he's 227 pounds. Like, you could see how the usage went last week, that a breakout is very soon to come. In the first quarter, him and Javonte split the snaps right down the middle. And then by the end of the game, you could tell Javonte was only out there for 3rd downs, considering he played the fucking Chiefs last week and had 14 carries for 53 yards. The Falcons are not the Chiefs. It's very hard to trust the Falcons defense. They're constantly, they can't get pressure. Can't get 3rd down conversions, like defensive stops. They're weak against the run. The Falcons are the only team in Super Bowl era to not record at least 10 sacks throughout the first 10 games of the season. Like that's what you need to know about the defense. They can probably score however they want, and I think they're going to run the ball today with Estime.
Locked and loaded at Estime anytime touchdown plus 160. Your final spot on the board is our Sunday nighter, which you will be rocking with us on this evening. Bengals, Chargers, take it away, my man.
Yeah, this one is a little bit of a square play, but sometimes you got to get these square plays through the hoop and just move a little along here. And I like Chase Brown anytime touchdown at minus 115 here at FanDuel. The Bengals placed Zach Moss in IR last week. They traded for Khalil Herbert. Chase Brown still received 88% of the snaps in that Thursday night game last week that we're on stream for. He had 13 rush attempts, 11 targets. Fucking Khalil Herbert fumbled in his debut game. I think that's going to cement Chase's red zone opportunities here. He scored in 6 out of his last 7 games. I think this is one of those spots where the volume just outweighs the bad matchup on paper. And then I got a bonus play here. This is a college basketball play, 4:00 game. Utah is playing Mississippi State. I like Mississippi State on the spread. It's Utah's first road game of the season. For the people that know, when the Utes go out on the road, it doesn't really look good. And I'm not really too high on this Utes team this year. They're in the Big 12 this year. They got the Madsen brothers are leading the way. The oldest Madsen brother is like 25. And I just don't think they're going to be athletic enough to, like, they're not, the 2 guards in the Mississippi State backcourt aren't as tall. Hubbard Jr. and Harris Jr., they're both not as tall, but they're going to fucking blow. Like, I don't want to sound like a dickhead, but you know what I mean. Like, two standing statues versus 2 fast brothers. Like, I think they're going to run Utah the fuck off the floor. Utah's first road game of the season. Both teams have played kind of weaker competitions. I think this line should be like 9.5. Utah's getting the respect because of their preconceived notion of how they played last year. but this Utah team might get ran off the floor out of Utah in an early game in Mississippi State. This isn't like a neutral site game or anything. This is in Starksville, Mississippi.
Locked and loaded there. Thank you for the college basketball edition. Busy Mississippi State plus the points. We have it's plus
minus.
Points. Sorry, minus points. My bad. And we also have Jermaine on that spot as well. This is Brizzy's action. Brown anytime touchdown minus 115. Estime anytime touchdown plus 160. In the Seahawks Niners game, McCaffrey anytime touchdown minus 175. Pearsall over 2.5 receptions minus 198. Jacobs over 16.5 rush attempts minus 118. And AR-15 anytime touchdown plus 210 in Colts Jets. I popped Brizzy's Twitter handle, their X handle in the chat. Please hit it and support him. Our guy Brizzy, thank you so much for rocking with us, Brizzy, my man. Any last words for the Cappers sporting the show?
Shouts to Now You Know. Well, Now You Know. Yeah, I used that for a little bit, man. I'm a little bit tired. I mean, we had the pay-per-view that went to 3 a.m. Shouts to John Jones, cashed his 2-leg parlay, and shouts to the Problem Child, baby. We roll on, right?
I love it. There he is, our guy, Billy Brisbane. He'll be rocking with us this evening. We head from South Jersey all the way across America to Cali for our next guest. Our next guest currently ranked 8th out of 30 cappers here, 7-6 plus 1.18 units, starring, known for the prime cut play of the day and the surf and turf play of the day. We have both here on the program. Please welcome our guy, the Sweaty Butcher, in the house. Sweaty Butcher, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, guys? What's up, Jimmy? How you doing?
Good, my man. Let's get right to work here. We start with Packers Bears. We've set this one up. You have side and total, but the total is the prime cut, and I'm on it with you, so I love it. Let's start with the prime cut and then go into a side. Packers Bears, take it away, my man.
Okay. Yeah, you guys broke it down already. I love these away favorite spots. I've been on them all season. Fading these home dogs. There's been money in the bank. But also, it's been trending heavily on a total also. So I'm on both. I'm on Green Bay Packers minus 5.5 today. And my prime cut is the over 40.5.
My bad. I thought I was, oh no. I totally tripped out. I was just seeing things, man. I thought you were with me on that total. Oh no, man. That's just
I'm on the other side. I felt that too. But this total, these away favorites off a loss, the last 12 games are 11-1 to the over. I think in that trend all season that those games only gone under 3 times out of what I think there's like 18 of them. So this is a heavy trend for me. There was a couple other ones that I like that correlated with that over, which made me push that Packers over to the prime cut. I could see Green Bay putting up 30 here and Chicago have 10, 13. That's enough to push us over. I kind of like Packers to go off today. Chicago ain't doing nothing. They haven't been doing nothing. I don't see them getting to the quarterback. The O-line for Green Bay's been pretty decent. So I could just see Green Bay running it up and maybe the Bears score 13 to push us over to that over.
If you want that over 40 right now, that's minus 120. The 40.5 is minus 111. 41's minus 105. What would you prefer?
We'll take the hook. I'll take the.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Over 40.
I think this game gets to 44, in between 44, 49 somewhere.
The line is moving now towards the Packers, been moving all morning. So the 5.5 is minus 115, minus 6 is minus 104. What would you prefer?
Let's stick with minus 5.5.
Okay. Minus 115. Locked and loaded. Prime cut, the over 40.5, minus 111. The Packers minus 5.5, minus 115. Next up for us is Rams Patriots, a game that we have not set up here yet today. A game where this market's moving pretty quickly towards the New England Patriots. Now, Christian Barmore is able to play. We don't know how much he'll play or if he'll even play. We know that down the road he'll be a huge piece. He's just a big defensive tackle that can help enormously. So we don't know how much he's going to play. We don't expect him to play too much. As always, the Patriots injury report is just ridiculously long. The big thing is Kyle Duggar is expected to try to make it through with the ankle injury. For the Rams, bad news with Havenstein out, their impressive lineman. Now Noteboom is probably out. So those are two big pieces on the line. Now, No Boom hasn't been there all year, except they thought he was going to come back to replace Havenstein, which is not happening here. From a line history standpoint, we'll start with this total. This total is under 43 at -115. It opened up at 44. And when we get to the point spread here for this one, we have a 4. And now if you want the Rams -4, it's even money. This line has just been moving towards the Patriots. It didn't all week. I mean, this opened +4.5, -103. We didn't see this move towards the Patriots till when, really? Till last night. Last night at about 10 p.m. was when the move started. Take it away for us, Sweaty Butcher. You have side and total. Floor is yours, my man.
All right. Yeah. It's another game I found some great trends on and I liked a lot. Of course, it's another away favorite. Like I said, if you're paying attention, I've been on these all season. They've been cashing. The injuries, the offensive struggles, the defensive is good on the England side. I like this under a lot. I feel like it's almost like last week, except the opposite. I think New England will be on the lower side and the Rams will score 19, 20 points. The Rams here, they're in a decent spot. I know it's a travel game. It's going to be cold, whatever, but these away faves have just been on point, and I just can't get away from them right now. They're cashing a lot of games for me. New England won that last game. I feel like it's a good letdown spot for them to come back down to earth and get smashed by these Rams. And Cooper Kupp probably has a big day. Puka probably has a big day. Kyron probably scores again. But mostly I'm attacking this New England. It's mostly New England fade here on the total and on the side because just like you said, the injuries here, the defense for New England is pretty tough. Rams defense is a little here and there, but I think they could hold back Drake May and keep the score down and run away with this win.
You are locked in, though. This total is moving very quickly towards the under. It's now an under 43 that we're giving you. Under 43 at -114. Razor saying Pats. Line certainly moving in the Pats direction. Do you want the -4 at -101? Or would you prefer the -3.5, -114?
Let's do 3.5. That way the 4 cashes if it does get there. I don't think it'll be that close, but
3.5 -114, locked and loaded. All right, let's roll into the surf and turf here. Surf and turf is a 2-leg parlay of player props. Player prop number 1 is in Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, Acrisure Stadium. And we've already set this one up. So set us up with the first leg of the surf and turf.
All right. Yeah, first one I'm looking at Lamar Jackson here. He's been lights out, period. But really against these divisional games, he's really stepped it up. I think he's had 2 games already against Cincinnati and 1 against the Browns. And each one of those has been over like 280. I think 289 was the lowest he's been in those 3 games. He's passing the ball, he's running the ball, he's moving on these divisional games. So I really liked his passing yards over. It was set kind of low for me. It was down to I think 230-ish, somewhere around there. A little juice, so I juiced it up to his 250 yards plus at I think I got +112 for that. Yeah. That was my first leg of the surf and turf there. I think he goes off.
Lamar 250 plus at +112 is leg 1. We go to Raiders Dolphins for leg 2 of the surf and turf parlay at Hard Rock Stadium, Miami Gardens, Florida. Take it away.
Yeah, this one is a big fade against Minshew here. The dude sucks. We've seen it all year. I don't see him getting any better. I don't even know if he lasts his full game. So I smashed his under passing yards. Kind of correlate real good with the surf and turf. So I took Minshew under 195.5 passing yards. I know the Dolphins secondary is a little banged up, but I really don't think it matters. We've seen Minshew against garbage teams, and he just can't get it done. He can't find it. I don't think he has it. I don't understand why the Raiders keep starting him, but I really like that. I don't think he does much tonight. I think the Dolphins probably smash the Raiders, and Minshew throws a bunch of picks. If I don't see him even getting past 150, so the 195 I really liked, and it correlated real good with my surf and turf, kind of opposite sides there. So yeah, plus 298 sounded like good shrimp rack bacon to me.
Surf and turf in business at plus 298. Leg one, Lamar 250 plus pass yards. Leg two under 195.5 pass yards. The final spot on the board for our guy, Sweaty Butchers, Texans Cowboys. We've already set this one up. We got to be tight here, my man. Take it away. Floor is yours.
Yeah, I'll just get right to it. There's another away fave and another letdown spot for the Dallas Cowboys. This is a good spot for Houston to blow up. CJ Stroud should blow up. Nico Collins coming back. Mixon probably has 2 tutties. Dallas probably has 3 points, maybe. Who knows? So, yeah, I just smashed the Texans here. Primetime spot. I don't know how this game's still primetime. It should be flexed. But, yeah, that's it, man. I don't really have nothing to say. You probably already broke this one down. I think the Texans smash here.
I love it. Our guy, Sweaty Butcher, in the house. -7, -108 on the Texans. On the surf and turf, Lamar 250 plus and Minshew under 195.5. In the Rams, Patriots, Rams -3.5 and the under 43 -114. Prime cut is the over 40.5 in Green Bay, Chicago, tied with the Packers -5.5 and -115. Please support our guy, the Sweaty Butcher, who rocks with us on our live streams as well. Another just selfless capper, only looking for us to get paid in full. I'm going to pop his Twitter handle in the chat. Please support our guy. Sweaty Butcher, any last words for the capper supporting the show?
Yeah, no, let's go get that cash, guys. Let's get it. Be on the right side.
There he is, our guy, the Sweaty Butcher. We move on to our next guest. Man, the stories for this guy. Last year, co-champion the NFL Cappers Contest. This year, he's tied for the lead in the NFL Cappers Contest. No one's been ahead of him in the NFL Cappers Contest in his 2 years playing it. Not only that, everyone demanding him to be on the show. We bring him on the show. He sweeps the board, goes 2-0 plus 2.36 units. Was busy last week, so we couldn't have him on again. Now he has just headed down to San Diego as his son Elijah Zertucci, his ship leaves now, and Eli's such a big part of the Lobag family, and I can imagine a very emotional time for the Zertucci family watching Eli's ship take off now on his first real official assignment, and it's an emotional time. And to tie all that in, before Elijah leaves this morning at dawn, both G and Eli hit the late pick 5 at Del Mar yesterday for 7.2K. What is it? Is this not the greatest group of guys to experience life with? Please welcome right now in San Diego, after watching his son take this next step in his career in the Navy, watching him take off with such an emotional moment, still wants to be a part of this show. From Arcadia, California, our great friend, Mr. Guillermo Zertucci, to the show. G, what's up, man? What a roller coaster ride of 24 hours.
That was awesome, man. That was awesome. One more, but one nice hit before he left. And he had a lot to do with this, so I was proud of him. It was pretty fun.
And then tell us about this morning. What was it like?
Well, actually, he surprised us. He came up Friday night.
Okay,
so he's here Saturday, Sunday. So we're actually home right now. Tomorrow morning we wake up. Tonight about 3 a.m. He has to be back on the ship by 6, and then they set off. I want to say around noonish. So yeah, we're gonna be out there hanging out with them.
Okay,
spend the last couple of times, as much time as we can.
What an absolute wonderful story, and a lot of love coming in for Eli in the chat. Let's get right to work. G, we got to be tight here. We have Falcons Broncos to get us started, and I know you're gonna instill fear in me. In fact, when I was sent your spots that you wanted to attack, I held off until this morning when I finally got the courage up to go up against the great Guillermo Zertucci. Take it away, Falcons Broncos.
You know what? It's gonna be real quick. Atlanta coming off a bad loss. I think they overlooked New Orleans, who lost 7 in a row. Denver also coming off a bad loss, blowing that game, giving it away. I think Atlanta's offense is starting to come around after the injury. Kirk Cousins is starting to pick it up. Denver, I'm not really impressed with them. They've won 3 of the last 4 games, and they happen to be against the Raiders, Saints, and Carolina. So in the last 4 games, so I'm expecting Atlanta to step it up and take control of this game.
It's a wild one. This line has been moving towards the Falcons. I ended up getting the money line minus 122. Falcons for Guillermo. I will line
Yes,
chop
sir.
for you. While I'm line chopping, let's talk about your next spot on the board. And it's a game everybody wants to talk about, but nobody has on this show except you here. Chiefs, Bills, Highmark Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. Now, Birdie opened it up with just it being a close game, but no one is taking a side. You, though, my friend, are taking a side. Take it away.
I'm taking KC. I mean, as much as I hate that team, being a Raider fan, Mahomes is just, 17-6 straight up as a dog, 18-4 against the spread. They have the number 2 rush defense. Buffalo has a lot of key injuries. I think they have the right tackle Brown is out, Dalton Kincaid, Coleman, and is Cooper Kupp? Is he not Cooper? Amari Cooper, is he out? I knew he was questionable yesterday.
That's the big question, whether or not Cooper will be in with Coleman officially out. We don't know at this point.
Okay. Well, I just think they have too many key injuries on that lineup. Going against a defense like KC, Mahomes is starting to pick it up since getting D-Hop. His first 6 games, his TD interception ratio was 6-8. Since D-Hop has come on the team, they're 6-1 now. He's 6-1. So I just think it's too many injuries for Buffalo this week to go against KC. I think, and they missed their game last week to lose, so I think they're going to keep it rolling. So definitely on the Chiefs today.
You've got it. This line's moving very quickly towards the Bills. So now you can get if you want the Chiefs +2 is +106. +2.5 is just -102. That's how fast it's moving towards the Bills. +3 you can get now at -123.
Wow. Let's give him to me money line.
All right. Money line.
I'm going to take them money line. And also, I'm going to tease this real quick. I'm going to add this. I'm going to tease Kansas City and Atlanta, the 6-point teaser in my play as well.
The 6-point teaser then is a +8 for the Falcons and a +8.5 for the Chiefs. So Chiefs +8.5, Falcons +8. And then for the Falcons, do you want them on the money line +116? Or do you want the 2? Yeah?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Because I got the teaser to back that up. So, yeah.
Okay. +116. And then your final spot on the board is the Monday Nighter, G. Take it away, Texans, Cowboys.
Chiefs in first half, 9-1 against the spread first half. They get Nico back. They've lost 3 or 4 games. Defense is playing good. I mean, they picked out Goff 5 times last week, even though they gave up the game. Dallas, who are they going to put out there? Dallas is a mess, I think. This is a prime spot for Houston to get right. So Houston first half for me.
Houston first half here as a get right spot. That's the same angle too as our guy Marley. So you're in good company there, and LJ from H-Town. We can get you that first half. It's a couple options here. We can get you the first half -4 at -101 or -3.5 at -115.
Let's do -4.
-4 and -101 for Guillermo. -4, -101 first half for Texans. Chiefs money line +127 and Chiefs +8.5. Falcons +8. And then we have the Falcons money line at +116 for Guillermo Zertucci. Please tell Eli how proud we are of him. What a class act, and you've raised a great boy, and it's just we love you. Inspire us. That's the best way of putting it. You and your son inspire us. So congratulations on the huge hit, keeping those dreams alive, man. Those big scores.
You should have seen our celebration. It was just us 2 here. I was just bad. It was I wish I would record it. It was good. But I want to thank the chat. Thank you everyone for the love. I appreciate you guys, and trust me, when he's out there, he's definitely going to check in on us. So. And checking in on you, Jimmy, and the show. So he's going to do good, man. I can't wait for him to come back so we can celebrate.
Absolutely. And thank you for making time for us, my man.
Absolutely.
He is, our guy.
Love you guys, man.
I'm going to pop both Guillermo's and Eli's X handles here in the chat to support our guys. G, much love, man. We will be in touch, and
Likewise.
Congratulations again on that big hit yesterday.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Have a good one. Let's get that money.
There is G's handle, and I'm going to pop Elijah's handle in as well. Let's bring on our headliner. We got to work tight and quick here to get his action in. Thank you so much for his patience backstage. We're running 10 minutes late. Please welcome our friend. He's the star of the Picks from Dave YouTube channel. A lot of people demanding for Nerd Talk to come back. But we're just happy to have him back in action with us. Please welcome, now making his home in Arizona by way of California. Please welcome Mr. Dave Rogers to the show. Dave, how are you, my man?
Good morning, Jimmy. Good morning, Chad. How are we doing? I can be concise. We've got 10 minutes, but none of my plays go off here in the next game. So,
well, let's get after it. Yeah, you're in business. Yeah, we're in business. You're absolutely right. Let's go with Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49ers. We've already set this one up. I'm very interested to hear how you're getting paid. We've seen this market move towards the Seattle Seahawks. Take it away, my man.
yeah, well, we'll just start with a prop right off the bat. Not a very typical from Picks from Dave to give out props as premiums or on shows, because they're usually more of a last minute thing. But this one has been a blind bet, not because it's a bad bet, just because it's hit, or not because it's a bad cap, just because it's hit the last 5 weeks for me. And so I'll go into it. But it's Brock Purdy rushing yards, which is something I don't think anyone's even looking at. During the last 5 games, he's averaged 5 carries a game, and he's averaged over 5 yards per carry and had no less than 4 carries in any of those games. So do the math any way you want. You're going to get over 16.5. I did a video a few weeks ago breaking it down, so you can go watch that if you want to. Actually, you can't because it's on a channel that doesn't exist. Never mind. Brock Purdy over 16.5 rushing yards. All the math works out. He's hit this his last 5 weeks, and there's no reason to think he won't scramble. Usually he gets it on one scramble, almost all of it. So that's the play. Quick and concise.
I love it. You are locked in. Now our Sunday nighter. Hopefully you can join us this evening for our live stream. We had BJ just come in and Max bet the Bengals. We have Troy on the Bengals. We have more than that. We had someone else give us the Cincinnati Bengals. My Pops has sent in a $300 bet on the Bengals that hasn't been sent.
Are you sending it in or no?
No. Lamont Williams is on the Bengals money line at plus 105. Not only is Lamont Williams, Marley is on the Bengals. Everybody is on the Bengals here. Lines moving towards the Bengals. Take it away, my man. This is a fascinating Sunday nighter. Floor is yours.
Yeah, usually when a lot of people are on something, I don't like it, but not when they're my friends that I respect as cappers that are what I consider sharps. So I'm on that side too, but I'll just give a little bit of it. You have got a top offensive team and a top defensive team. Chargers have the #1 scoring defense in the league. They give up the fewest points, but look who they've played. Kansas City and Pittsburgh are the best 2 teams on offense they played. They're 11th and 12th in the league. So every other team that the Chargers have played have been bottom half teams as far as offense. So congratulations, and the Bengals have one of the best passing attacks. Joe Burrow has 9 TDs in his last 2 games. And the Chargers also, if this means anything to you, haven't covered the last 5 meetings these teams have matched up. So the bottom line really is look at the Chargers roster and you tell me they haven't overachieved. And I'll tell you, if you do, that they haven't overachieved, I'll tell you that you're full of shit, because the coach is great. I'm a big Harbaugh fan. That's probably why they've been had any sort of success this season, but the roster stinks. They've overachieved. The Bengals have underachieved. No, by the way, if the Bengals don't win this game, not only are they out of the playoffs, they're non-bettable team. They won't have anything to play for. So how do you not bet the Bengals? I'm on the Bengals.
Well, Big Mastro coming in with his action on the Bengals. Razor Sharp Pick says you guys keep betting the Bengals so I can get a better number with the Chargers. We can get you that plus 1.5 at minus 108. And are you able to jump on with us at all this evening?
Yeah, I'm driving back to California, but I'll be there in time. So
beautiful. Yeah. It's going to be a fun one. Very, very fun right here. Pops off at 7:20 p.m. Eastern. Let's move on to your final spot on the board, our final game here on the board, and it gives us fodder for tomorrow night's live stream. Texans, Cowboys, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. My man, take it away.
Yeah, both teams on losing streaks. Texans 2, I guess that's a streak. Cowboys 4. Dak is out. Cooper rushes in, or Trey Lance, whoever they want to use. which obviously is a big step down of talent-wise and experience-wise, but it's more detrimental than you think because the Cowboys are the second worst team at rushing the ball, yards per game. So where are they going to go, basically? They have nowhere to go. We have seen Cooper rush in the past few years, kind of have flashes in the pan, but I don't think that's going to happen against this Houston team. I think this Houston team realizes this point in the season it hasn't really worked out the way they wanted to. They're still in the hunt, but they are a much better team than they've played, and I think it's time to turn it on. Also, the Cowboys' defense is second worst in the league. Give up 28 points per game. 2-7 their last 9 games. Oh, actually 2-7 this year against the spread, and they haven't won a game at home. So there is zero way you can bet the Cowboys. The only reason you would be scared is that you're laying 7 points. You don't have to lay the hook here. I think they win by 10. So, and it's a perfect spot for Houston to bounce back, as I said. So I'm laying 7 points with Houston, and let's go. I love betting against the Cowboys.
Houston -7. Again, we have that Monday night live stream as well. We're going to need a lot of booze, I imagine, to get through that one. -7 and -107 available right now for our guy, Dave Rogers. So, Dave, tell us we're so happy to have you back in action. Where can everybody find your action, my man?
I'm going to throw one more plan.
Okay.
That I didn't tell you real quick. Sure. Patrick Mahomes over passing yards. His season average and his average against the Bills is higher than any number you're getting out there. I got 237.5. So I'm going to put that down as official play. Patrick Mahomes 237.5 over pass yards.
Passing yards, Mahomes. God, I can't wait for that football game this afternoon. Over 237.5 passing yards for Patrick Mahomes. Please support our guy, Dave. And where can we do that? I'm going to put your Twitter handle here in the chat. But where can we get your action, my man?
Well, right now, I'm just kind of having fun and cruising. I used to do a lot of live streams and a lot of stuff. I'm just kind of chilling out through the end of the year, but I will be doing stuff with Pub. I'll do some lives. I'll be on when Jimmy invites me on, and then you might see a couple things on my channel. But we're going to get through the holidays and reevaluate next year and see where things are. But I'll be in the chat. I'll be shaking it up with you guys. Thanks so much for watching the show. Thanks, Jimmy, for having me. Thanks, Ramon, backstage, and we'll see you tonight.
I love it. There he is, Mr. Dave Rogers. We are 3 minutes away from kickoff. It's funny. I feel like when I'm running poorly, I'm a little more nervous. When I'm running well, I feel like we're about to get paid is what's going to happen here. We're about to get paid. And I'm really excited. I like my card a lot. Now, look, Chargers aren't an official pick here for me. An official pick. I'm not betting them, but I'm not sending in Pops as $300 either. So that's going to make tonight very fun. I can't wait. We're running real nice. We're running real nice on our live streams. Cashed 9 of my last 10 bets with you guys on live streams. So we're running real nice on live streams. We're running strong here overall. And we want more money. Thank you guys so much. AJ Stog says, would you guys still take the 243.5? I don't... AJ, I think it's bad business getting into these player props late. I really do. While in saying that, I do think that he could easily get over that number. But I think if you never ever bet a player prop, if it's more than 3 yards worse than what a colleague or someone betted at, that will help you in the long run. Now you can do with that however you if you still want to hammer it, I get it, but I think it's just bad business long term, and that's what we want to do here is be long term winners and build our bankrolls and make bigger bets, and that's the whole plan. So I wouldn't personally, but it's still very live. Jose came on live from the Alamo card show. He gave us Bears +5.5. Anybody in Texas, go down to San Antonio to the Alamo card show. We are a big part of it. We are live streaming there as we speak, and we'll be continuing to throughout the day. So please go over to the Alamo card show today. Slaughter's there, Jose's there, Big T's there, Victor has his own table, and Sandro Mamu will be there as well. Sandro Mamu will be there as well. So please support our big card show there. Also, let's review all action here on the show. AJ, the thing about those overs in player props markets, is that they just keep going up generally because they're the public 99% of bets that come in on player props are overs, which obviously means that you should focus on unders. But it's definitely your call, my friend. Let's review all action here. Now, Birdie had this very fascinating card. Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 3.5, Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 7.5. These are all SGPs. Ravens plus 3.5, Steelers plus 10.5, Steelers plus 7.5, Ravens plus 3.5. I don't know if I said that. And Steelers plus 7.5, Ravens plus 7.5. Then he ties Trenton Simpson, linebacker for the Ravens, over 7.5 tackles and over 10 tackles individually. And then he takes the over 7.5 and ties him with the Chiefs plus 3.5, Chiefs plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 10.5, Chiefs plus 14.5, and Chiefs plus 17.5. This was a method he was very successful with last year in the playoffs. Dougie Wise gave us free bands play day Bears plus 6, and Spenny Penny Bombs gave us Kareem Hunt over 16.5 rush yards. Then he's doing the same thing with the Chiefs-Bills game. Chiefs-Bills, Chiefs plus 3.5, Bills plus 3.5, Chiefs plus 3.5, Bills plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 3.5, Bills plus 10.5, Bills plus 3.5, Chiefs plus 7.5, Bills plus 3.5, Chiefs plus 10.5, Bills plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 3.5. And we have the Bills plus 7.5, Chiefs plus 7.5 as well. So that's all locked and loaded here. Then 7-point teasers: Ravens plus 4, Falcons plus 9, Chiefs plus 9.5, Steelers plus 10, Saints plus 8, Chiefs plus 9.5, Titans plus 13, Chiefs plus 9.5, and Bengals plus 8.5. Then Clint McLean started Die Hard MMA podcast: Vikings Packers moneyline parlay minus 109, Addison anytime touchdown plus 320. DJ 100 grand gave us the Jets minus 4, and the Skunt Blaster play of the day is the Colts plus 4. Lamont Williams max betting Cincinnati Bengals money line, as is BJ. Back to our guy Clint, Jets minus 4 at minus 108, and the Seahawks plus 6 at minus 110. Marley, our leader in NFL Pub, Bears team total under 17.5. And then Lions first half minus 7.5, minus 112. Bengals plus 105. And Texans first half minus 4, minus 101. Full game minus 7 at minus 108. And team total over 24.5, minus 105. Spenny Penny Bombs. Oh, Spenny Pendergrass. He gave us Calvin Austin over 20.5 receiving yards, 25 or more plus 110, anytime touchdown plus 500. Devon Achane over 55.5 rush yards and 75 or more plus 170. Elijah Moore over 37.5 receiving yards and 50 or more plus 160. Estime over 52.5 rush yards and 75 or more plus 260. Then Brizzy gave us AR-15, Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown at plus 210. Yes, we've had some big Mastro sightings lately. We love it. Josh Jacobs over 16.5 rush attempts. I'm on his rush yards over. McCaffrey anytime touchdown minus 175. Pearsall over 2.5 receptions. Estime anytime touchdown plus 160. And Chase Brown anytime touchdown plus 115. He also gave us Mississippi State minus the points. Sweaty Butcher prime cut play today. Green Bay Chicago over 40.5 and the Packers minus 5.5 minus 115. Rams minus 3.5. Rams New England Patriots under 43 minus 114. The surf and turf is Lamar 250 passing yards, 250 or more, and Minshew under 195.5 passing yards. Together, that's a plus 298 surf and turf, and he's also on Texans minus 7, minus 108. Guillermo Zertucci, our leader in the cappers contest this year out of 81 cappers, and last year's co-champion alongside Sharpie. Falcons money line plus 116, Chiefs money line plus 127, teaser Chiefs plus 8.5, Falcons plus 8, and Texans first half minus 4 minus 101. Dave Rogers, Brock Purdy rush yards over 16.5 minus 113, Cincinnati plus 1.5 minus 108, and Houston minus 7 at minus 107. Also, he gave us Patrick Mahomes over 237.5 passing yards. That is our show for today. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to our producers, Jose Bouquet and now Big T, live from the card show. Thank you guys both. Thank you, gentlemen, for rolling with us here. T, do you want to come on? I'd love to see you guys live pop here to close out the show. If you're down, okay, Big T's down live at the card show. What's up, Big T? How are you?
What's up? We're me and Victor.
What up, Vic?
Alamo car show at 24/7 Church. We're going crazy right now. We got the cards set up everywhere, all kinds of vendors everywhere. So if you're in San Antonio, you fuck with cards, you fuck with jerseys, shoes, collectibles, come through, and we got you.
I love it. That looks so dope. And there's more than one room, right, Big T? There's 2 different rooms?
Yeah, there's another room in there.
Oh,
there's another room through that door. So.
Oh, that's dope. Respect, my man. It is great to see you guys. Hey, and Vic's got his collection out there. Do you have your collection too? You selling?
No, I don't have a collection. Okay. This is
that's all Vic's action in front of you?
We got cards, we got the comic books. We just traded with an 8-year-old kid.
What's that one, Vic?
Nico Collins rookie.
Oh, let me see it again. Let me get you go solo layout. Let's see that again.
Nico Collins rookie card.
Oh, beautiful. How much did that go for?
I'm not sure. $30 or something. Something like that.
It's great to see you guys. Anybody in Texas, please go down and support Pub Sports Radio there at the card show. Big T, thank you for all your hard work, my man.
Of course,
give my
man.
love to Vic as well. Thank you guys in the chat. Turnsy, Razor, Nunya, Textiles, The Sweaty Butcher, My Dude, Saturated. Thank you guys. Kevin Garrett's, Manny47 Loud, Real, Stony. Thank you guys. Big Scott, Jonathan Manson. Thank you guys. Truly, we have nothing without you guys. Nasty, Nate in the house, AJ, Dogville. Thank you, all of you guys. Thank you so much for your support. LJ from H-Town, Harold Williams, Big Mastro, Guillermo Zertucci, Old National. We have nothing without you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Now it's time for us to go out there and get that cash. Kickoff has happened. So let's go fight our battles, my man. Big T, thank you. From all of us at Pub Sports Radio, Jeff Slaughter and all of us, thank you guys so much for your support. Now let's go out there and get that cash. Let's it. Hey, Los Bookmakers, let's eat.